It's a
Secrets over
monkey on a
here.
typewriter just voting for the results of the competition.
Well, we are now into our champ select between Alliance and Divine Esports. And as we mentioned, Alliance they really have to dig deep here. They really have to work together. There is no question that these players are mechanically skilled. There's no question that these players are good. And we just really need to see that teamwork come into play, especially against Divine Esports, who have been doing oh so well ever since the play-ins, and have really just been doing that speed run. Even actually in their regional icon series that we have. But Rafa, just right off the bat, we have our bans and we have initial picks coming in. What are your thoughts?
Hey, we got the Len Lee Sin once again. I know Homeboy didn't get a chance to really pick up a W for Divine in their first series against SBTC in both of those games. I still have faith in this dude's Lee Sin. We have a lot of cracked Lee Sins, obviously, within the C championships. I think Valdez is also making a strong case for being one of the best Lee Sins in the tournament. But after seeing Len's Lee Sin during the play-ins, I still have faith that he can pull through and make a strong case. Alliance, though, are already starting to set up with strong crowd control in the Gragas, and you have strong disruption, which is something that you're going to want when Divine Esports are already trying to make a strong diving composition, because Kaisa really wants to jump in along with the rest of the diving squad between Lee Sin, Galio, and the Riven. And now Alliance, the way that they're pivoting is super curious. Yo, are we going to get an auction here?
Yeah, I think what Alliance are trying to go for is a composition that where Divine dive into them, because if they recognize that Divine just want to jump on them, they get to play and they get to play with like the counter initiative. I don't know how that kind of works. It's like when Divine comes to you and then you fight back against them. I think that's what they're trying to go for. They have a lot of disengage, they have a lot of single target on-demand crowd control, and that's where they're doing well in. We'll have to see if it's going to be the Akshan mid, a lot of the Black Cleaver kind of tech, or something else. But it's interesting. Alliance are going for their staple composition with a slight twist.
Yeah, it seems like this team is indeed evolving with every series that they go into. We do know, of course, that Gamernism over here is cheering for Alliance. On the other side, we also have teams that definitely think that Divine Esports is going to take this one, given their performance in the play-ins and all the way leading up to this group stages. We definitely do expect to see them at the playoffs. Now it's just a matter of shuffling around the standings in the bracket, and this series is definitely going to play an important part in that. This is Alliance versus Divine Esports. Casters, over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Mika. Welcome everyone to Alliance versus Divine Esports. It's the first game, and Riku, you know what? I'm excited for this. We might expect something early from Jelson and Len, but this mid lane looks spicy as well with action now coming up.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of action plays here and there, maybe even during our local Wild Rift Icon Series playoffs. But unfortunately, it hasn't exactly produced successful results. So this could be maybe the recent patch changes, especially on Akshan, when it comes to synergizing a little bit more with those crit items. Perhaps we get to see a different face of Akshan this time around.
Yeah, and maybe a different side for Alliance, going in for an Akshan mid lane. And I think previously for the play-ins, someone discussed about this onto Akshan versus Ari. I think Akshan can just jump in with some robes to target onto Ari. The charm is very difficult to hit because of how Akshan is playing very mobile. So I think that is something we could expect later on. But you know what, talking about the mid lane, we need to also talk about the jungle, because these two teams play jungle mid laner. And when it comes to the synergy on how they play early game, and I think we're gonna expect some early aggressions, considering you have Jelson with the Vi and Len with the Lee Sin.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there 100%. I mean, Lee Sin and Ari are one of your best combos, just because level 3 is incredibly strong. You have your charm into a full combo coming from Len, and we could see a potential gank. But of course, Ozora Veki has seen this coming. And as well as Jelson and Veki here over on the Vi and Akshan, there's a lot of single target damage and setup involved. Comeuppance, the boomerang as well is just very good, just to make sure that everything lines up once you are able to set that up. And Jelson is definitely going to be, there's a lot of pressure basically after that assault and battery to make everything follow through.
definitely, this is really what we see from Alliance, specifically onto Jelson in their prior series, in their prior games. Jelson is leading the pack with the early aggression coming in from Alliance overall as a team. And when he has this Vi, he goes for the bot lane, try to set up a gank, try to set up a play to try and get that early lead. But we'll see if they can do it because Len is on top side. So that means only Hope 1 and Kwe can be able to maneuver in the Dragon lane. As now we're going to see it. Alliance jumps in.
no.
It's Jelson with the Assaulted Battery. First blood for Alliance. Action follows through with a double kill. This is it, what Alliance has been doing.
Yeah, that's a beautiful dive coming from Alliance there. I remember we were talking about this off cast and how will Alliance be able to match up the early aggression of Len, especially he is on this Lee Sin, where he'll be able to make moves around the map, especially try to visit topside to enable Tanex. Look at this. This could be the response at topside.
Yeah, but CWJ comes in with that response. They know and understand that Len is going for top side of the map because no response into the bot side. They're forced to back away.
Really good call there coming from Alliance. The start of Alliance is usually very solid. They're able to take advantage of the lull moments, the windows of when the Dragon or the Rift Herald or the Baron hasn't spawned yet, and they're really good at these heavy dives and their composition that just basically calls for it. Maybe no Galio, but it's fine, as Azora Vecchi is on this mobile champion that is able to just swing around and basically go rogue in some of these instances. And now though, Air Drake, or Cloud Drake rather, has now spawned, and let's see what the priority is going to be. I assume Alliance would love to have the Cloud Drake just to enable their roam potential.
It's an extra mobility for them, right? And Darius, who really is upgraded to the next level when it comes to mobility, if that is increased. But now, let's look at the bot lane, because Jelson is going for the aggression once again. That's a kill towards Alliance. Getting down onto Hope 1 and Kwe HP. Tries to run away under the turret, but Azor Vecchi just jumps in with a rope, gets that kill onto Hope 1.
Nicely done by Alliance there. Really good dive. They're able to funnel in more gold on their side, and this is a good start for them. 2k gold lead. And Rift Herald, while it's now being started by Divine, their aim is to unlock topside so Tanex can be more involved into these fights. But because Alliance, wait.
Whoa,
Coyote?
Almost getting the kill. CWJ, 1 HP. That's Hope 1 with a Void Seeker killing him. But Coyote into the flank here. Looks for Jelson. Readies up. The Vault Breaker. Now that's the flash. That's the charm. Getting that hit and gets the kill. Coyote, though, getting hit down by the minefield. That's a kill for Ziggs. Azor Vecchi still has another day to live, but Hope 1 flashes in. That's a kill for 1. Now Kwe tries to run away. It's a 2v1. SSK reaches him down. Guillotine puts him down. What a kill from Alliance, 1 for 1.
A really nice cancel there on the apprehend, so Kwe doesn't join Hope 1 in that escape. So SSK getting that kill. Remember, he is on Adarius. There is a possibility that Adarius can spin out of control, and the fact that Raven is on this Ziggs. Again, we're seeing this combination, Darius plus Poke, Darius plus Ziggs, Darius plus Varus. We're seeing this sort of combination become very popular so far, especially during the group stages.
Yeah, appearing to the bot lane, it's Azor Vecchi 1v1 up against Hope 1. Void Seeker, the ultimate from Azor Vecchi. It will hit, it will connect. Will not erase him though. And now Alliance going for the flank. CWG with Raven going in. Explosive cast. That's gonna put down Hope 1. A kill for Ziggs. Alliance now pushing back through. But Azor Vecchi wants to go for more. Gets another kill for his team. But that will be the trade back. Queg gets it. And now Len into the back side, gets it done, but Assault Breaker actually puts him into a safe position, and Jelson will just go away, just going for the flashy quick movements.
Gotta love the aggression coming from Alliance, and we've talked about this before. This is them being full control whenever there is that big downtime. Oh no!
Oh, charm is massive. What a kick from Len. Follow up. CC chain is flawless, gets them another kill.
It seems pretty solid, but the deadly charm coming from Coyote was just the end of Jelson there, and Alliance should be careful about that. The Coyote versus Coyote Len duo here for the mid and jungle is just such a deadly combination. Meanwhile, top side.
Yeah, SSK gets a kill onto Hope 1, but Divine Esports with a 2-mag roll with quick responses burns down SSK with
Oh.
Ignite from Tanex.
Nicely done by SSK, just an attempt, but Tanex able to have that summoner spell lead. Gets the Ignite down. Look at this though, Alliance taking matters into their own hands. They want the mid lane tower.
The Tanex is here to defend. Knock up from Tanex. Explosive cast gonna be massive.
What?
Puts down Tanex. Alliance getting another kill for their team. Not the turret though, but still gold funneling into their team.
This is Alliance. Really, really impressive performance so far into the early game. Nelson, though, is going to be fine for now, but that's the thing. Alliance is able to fight toe-to-toe when it comes to the skirmishes and the dives on their tower against Divine Esports, who is, again, when we look at it on paper, this particular group is just so scary. You know, we've got EVOS, we've got SBTC, we've got Divine, and Alliance is able to sort of fight head-to-head, which, you know, Divine currently at the moment stands at second place, only 1 point below SBTC in the current standing. So this is looking to be very, very good for Alliance.
Definitely, like, maybe a bit of a high stakes here for Divine Esports, but when you're considering Alliance Esports, or Alliance rather, in this game in particular, even if they have 2 kill leads in this matchup, what I commend for Divine Esports is they still have that early gold lead up against Alliance, right? And I think this is their consistency showing up in this game. Look at that.
Consistency.
Jelson with a knock-up, Assault and Battery, Hope 1
wow.
has another day to live. What? Divine Esports get that quick response, get that 2 kills out of the way, and now Alliance is going for a retreat. We have to go back. It's Divine Esports with huge counter-engage.
This is exactly what we were talking about. Win a dragon. Okay, charm though.
Zorveki forces flash, but in the wrong direction. Gets that kill though. Will make it for a 1-for-1. Wow.
Coyote is about to die, maybe. No, he's still
Really?
alive. Yeah, but this is the thing, right? Alliance is so great in their skirmishes when there are no dragons. When they're able to, oh, wait a moment, SSK is able to get a finish kill on towards Coyote. Very, very sneaky, by the way. And again, whenever there's a dragon, Alliance having a hard time.
Yeah. Very difficult situation for it. Divine Esports though now is struggling because of SSK going for the guillotine. Cakes 1, and now he's just going away unscattered here. And Divine Esports is now struggling up against Alliance with their aggression still consistently being even when it comes to gold.
Yeah, 1k gold lead. But when it comes to window times of no objectives on the map, they're really good at diving and collapsing.
Yeah, the micro play for Coyote. You're just looking at it. The charm keeps on connecting. It's magnets. It's magnets, Rika. It's magnets. Metal to metal.
Yeah. Metal to metal, positive, negative. I think that works. I'm not a scientist, but I think I attended my basic science class to know.
F equals
That's
MA.
how it works.
Physics. We're putting formulas here in Wild Rift.
I don't think I can handle that though. That's all on you, Infinity. You got this.
SSK though into the mid lane. It's a different story here as Quay goes for the knockoff. SSK 1 HP. He falls down.
Killing spree.
Quay gets the kill. Divine Esports is playing here. They're going for quick mats. Get the kill on SSK. We're not gonna die.
A really good punish there coming from Quay. And that big taunt is going to be the bane of Alliance for sure. We'll see though. They do want the siege down. Divine cannot defend this one. I think the worrying trend about Divine Esports is that their composition may have a hard time trying to play from behind because wave clear wise, of course Alliance is going to win. We'll see though. Jelson's jungle getting invaded.
Yeah, and gets that red steel buff for Len. And Jelson will just lose so much damage out of that, but now Becky gets charmed up. Coyote gets that kill. Swift response from Divine.
Really nicely done. Coyote almost eliminated there. And Alliance, The time window may be ticking. Bot lane though.
Connect fighting 2v1 here. CWJ goes in response, but he knows, you know what, SSK can handle this. They get the kill down onto the mid laner for Alliance.
It's gonna be very dangerous though. Len, you are low.
He's
Oh my
playing with
word.
death here. He jumps in onto that satchel charge, almost gets hit, almost gets killed, but at the end of the day, you know what? It doesn't matter if we don't get killed. It's still gonna be much more valuable to us getting a tier 1 turret mid lane.
Yeah, especially if you don't have to consume a flash as well to escape, you're pretty much fine. The fact that Zhonya's Hourglass, Guardian Angel is pretty much intact is still a win. This is Len basically stating, I'm gonna keep diving in. I'm not gonna be afraid to do that. I'll play more aggressively because I have 2 air quote lifelines on my inventory and I'll be fine.
Yeah. He's going for, I don't know, resurrection? Lee Sin resurrection here. So he's able to have that pressure up against Alliance, and this is what we constantly see on build-up onto Lee Sin. The Humus Blade and the GA, because this allows you, especially when it comes to the early game, to get that early punish, to go for that setups, especially that Dragon Rage, gonna be very important for Divine Esports to set up game.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to set up kills because Infernal Drake has now spawned. Again, Divine has this strong pick comp as well with Coyote.
Ooh, look at that. It's Justin
4v5?
once again.
Flash.
Flash though will save Coyote's life with a Spirit Rush to follow up. Ignite will burn Jelson down into half HP. Look at Len going in with a kick down, and Alliance is struggling.
Wow.
They're pinned down. Divine Esports gets 3 kills, and now Jelson and Azarveki, the only one left for Alliance.
Yeah, this is definitely not going to be enough. No flash for Jelson, no assault and battery. Everyone from Divine is pretty much alive. Half HP on the Baron. We'll see what they do.
Now Azarveki with the ultimate tries to get the pick
Taunt.
up done, but Kwe with the knockup gets a kill onto Jelson. Divine Esports gets the Baron Nashor.
They secure the Baron, and they will even secure the Infernal because 30 seconds of that death timer, no jungler for Alliance. This is starting to be Divine, having that big full control. As we take a look at that again, Alliance, they invested so much to kill Coyote, and the sad part is, Coyote didn't even die. He was able to survive with Flash and Spirit Rush defensively, and the collapse coming from Divine is just so much easier to execute. There's just so many gap closers on the side of this composition. Killer Instinct, Safeguard, Sonic Wave, and as well as the many, many dashes of Tanex here on that Riven, which is very, very difficult for Alliance because, yes, CWJ has that disengage, but most of the time, CWJ is using the cask to engage in mispositioned players from Divine.
Yeah. And if they actually just punish and not get killed with Flash and Spirit Rush wasted for Coyote, I think that would have been so much value for them. But the thing here is Divine Esports got that 3 kills, then the Baron Nashor, which really just changes things up for Alliance in this game. They gave a lot of gold for Divine Esports and a lot of kills. But the Jelson actually gets hold in battery onto Len. Len forces out the Stacy's enchant. Explosive cast goes for the disengage, but will not do so as they take tier 2 turret. Now Coyote into the backside with a flank. Gets that charm down, but gets killed instead. 1 for 1. And now it's Hope 1. Go for the Killer Instinct. Tries to get up 1. It's a 2 for 1. 3 for 1. Alliance loses their jungler, mid laner, and their support. And now Len continues to pull through. It's another kill for their team. SSK, the only one alive. Not going to be able to get that trade as they lose their inhibitor turret.
This could be a chance.
Yeah, SSK apprehends under 3-man, not gonna get that kill. And Divine Esports punching onto the Nexus base. No defense for SSK, and Divine gets the first game of the series.
The way the low health targets coming from Divine.
Get solid leads after getting those kills. If you're diving the bottom lane turret 4 times, why isn't the turret being taken down in the process afterwards? And it's because Divine Esports are either being able to answer back and forcing Alliance in a position where, okay, we actually can't go for this turret, otherwise we lose too much on the other side of the map. So I want to see if Alliance still are going to buckle down onto heavy initiation and trying to look for single target crowd control, then they need to prepare their waves and they need to prep the rest of the map so that when they go for the plays, Divine Esports can't maximize on the cross side of the map in response.
Yeah, and I think you guys, nailed it. It's really about it being able to translate because like Alliance, they can get that lead. They do get the jump onto Divine Esports, but after they do, they suddenly don't know what comes next. And after they get that kill, they don't exactly know where to go. They try to find another kill, but then that's why the objectives here aren't exactly being met. And right now, as the bans and the initial picks are coming in, Gamernism, what are your thoughts here on the draft that Alliance could possibly be preparing?
Yeah, so really standard pickup for Divine Esports, you ban the Twisted Fate and you go for the Zig straight away. Alliance are going to respond by getting the Galio and the Jarvan. Usually Jarvan here should be a flex pick. It should be able to go to either Baron lane or the mid lane, and that's what makes it so powerful. I think for Alliance though, it's a little bit too obvious that it's going to go to Jelson because of how comfortable he's been on this. It's supposed to empower the Galio as well, but the issue with this and showing this so quickly is that now Divine Esports get to go and play for very powerful matchups against anyone else. So you get the Darius and the Gragas early. You don't really have to worry about Jarvan in lane. Yeah, there we go, right? So the Riven is likely going to go back to SSK, who's going to try and be a playmaker, and you're probably still going to see some empowering towards Azuraveki in the mid lane. Now, what I hope to see from Divine is, yeah, okay,
There it
yes.
is.
All right, going back to their roots. And I just have to really quickly point out the stakes here. Alliance have to get this draw if they still want to stand a chance to leapfrog past Flash Wolves. Because if they tie with Flash Wolves, they are immediately fourth.
Yeah, and you know what? I do agree. Jelson, he does do great on the Jarvan 4. He actually earned the nickname Jelson 4 when he was playing back with the Icon Series Philippines. But it just seems like something that Divine Esports is really prepared for. The question is, can Alliance possibly be prepared for this Zed that's coming in, Rafa?
Oh my god, we're gonna get it! The Coyote Zed special! I was already hype enough to see Len bring out the Kazakhs in this game, but Divine, they know that Alliance, they're prepping Raven to go into the mid lane with some type of assassin, and Coyote, even in anticipation of it, says, I don't care what assassin you pick, I'm locking in the Zed. I'm gonna take you on in the mid lane.
Yikes. Diana, Mika, Diana's, I don't know. It's supposed to empower the Galio, but unless CWJ plays with full AP Galio, I'm not so sure about this. And CWJ, okay, he's an okay player, he's fine, he gets initiative, he does his job well, but that's about it. He's not a playmaker, he's not someone I'm expected to carry, so putting your expectations there might not be the exact play for Alliance, but who knows? I voted for them. I'm hoping that they prove me wrong here.
Yeah, I hope your loyalty will be rewarded indeed. But as we mentioned earlier, the Diana, she might be joining the C Chumps list that we had over there, joining via and Nami with like the lowest win rate. We haven't. This is somewhat a foreboding of a not so good outcome whenever the Diana comes out. We haven't seen a lot of success on this champion. We'll see though if Alliance will be able to turn it around as we head into game 2 of this series. This is Divine Esports and Alliance once again, and Divine Esports, they look like they're prepared, and they look like they have a surprise prepared as well for Alliance. We're gonna see if Alliance though can turn that around. Casters, take it away.
And take it, we Shaw. It's game number 2 of Divine Esports up against Alliance. This is the redeeming arc for Alliance if they can. And Riku, we're seeing a different draft here from game number 1 with Kazakhs for Len, Coyote with Zed, Ash for Azuraveki, Raven. We're going running back it.
All I'm gonna say, I'm worried about Azuraveki here. He is gonna be the primary target of Len and Coyote. Just easy backline access. And is able to instantly burst down squishy targets. In Exhibit A, we've got Azuraveki. Exhibit B, we've got Raven here, of course. So the shields will definitely help a little bit mitigate the damage coming through. But Divine responding with a 1-3-1 comp themselves, as Alliance also secures a 1-3-1 comp. And that is the interesting part, right? Whenever an Ashe is picked up, I feel like it's perfect for 1-3-1 comps because, again, you will be able to be involved in the split push, or rather in the 1-3-1, just because of the enchanted crystal arrow. You're able to find picks in the side lanes, you're able to follow suit with the rest of the damage coming from SSK perhaps, or even towards Raven.
Yeah, and I think that is what Alliance wants to do. You know what, Jelson has this tendency to be very aggressive in the early game, so if Azuraveki is there, goes for the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, connects and followed through with CWJ with his ultimate. I think that would be the ideal situation for Alliance. But as the analyst Des has stated, Raven, CWJ has to connect to each other if they want to utilize the Galio and Diana combo in this game number 2.
That's a big possibility.
But
Wow.
Len pinned down, very low on HP. First blood for Jelson. Alliance takes it down. But here, Hue, body slam onto 2, half HP for Jelson as well. Hopes from Hope 1, a lot of damage. And now Coyote comes into the party, slowed down by the exhaust, forced to back away. 4-man row for Alliance. It's too much to handle, and Divine Esports doesn't want to take it.
This is the strength of Alliance. Their early game aggression, whenever there's downtime, is great. They invade the jungle as a group. They form these dives constantly, either for bot lane or set up for top. And I think the biggest question mark is how they're able to transition that, because so far, even though they've been getting all of these early game kills, it doesn't necessarily translate into successful objective takes, because we talked about the dynamic between Len and Jelson. Jelson always going to be, most of the time, your tank jungler. Therefore, also, most likely, going to be your primary engage. Therefore, if you engage first, most of the time, you will die first. And after that, you'll not be able to secure the dragon. And Divine Esports, also, they've got Len, who's basically on carry junglers like Lee Sin, like Rengar, like Kha'Zix, and I really like the stark contrast between the two in terms of playstyles.
Yeah, and therefore will crumble down onto Alliance when it comes to the mid-game, late game. But we'll see if things are different here. If they could maybe change things up when objectives are up. Because if they can change that, I think they have the potential to scale up into the mid-game or late game for Alliance. But considering how Divine Esports has been constantly playing this out, very ramp-up type of playstyle, wherein in the early game, in the mid-game, they play it consistently and patiently, but when it comes to mid-game, late game, they just ramp out, exponentially growing when it comes to gold, when it comes to kills, when it comes to objectives. And the thing here is, when we look at that game number 1, Alliance get all these early game kills, get all these stuff, but look here first for Coyote, that death mark was phenomenal. But
The shadow switch back to the shadow from Coyote was really well played. Able to get a bunch of auto attacks more on towards Raven as the death mark pops. There it is. That's the scary 1v1 Coyote Zed versus the Raven here on the Diana.
yeah, and going back to my point a while ago, even if Alliance get all these lead, Divine Esports is matching up when it comes to gold. We saw a while ago Alliance take the first blood, but it was consistently very, very close. Even Divine Esports getting a little bit more out of Alliance. But here, we have a fight into the Rift Herald. It's a lockdown coming in from Jelson with the Cataclysm. Hero's entrance to follow up. No one will attach to that though. And CWJ still tries to chase down onto TanX and Coyote, but forced to retreat with a lot of damage and pokes from Divine Esports.
Yeah, good thing Hope 1 is still, still baby Ziggs. Still only having the Luden's Echo, not having big boy damage just yet. Divine at the moment, though, can still get 2 out of 2 early objectives. Air Drake is going to be extremely important between these two teams because of that extra movement speed. Alliance, both of these teams, rather, are on a 1-3-1 setup. Therefore, they would so desire that movement speed buff.
Ooh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Almost so close, but TanX at that millisecond sidestep. Miss. And now Alliance still tries to go on. It's Jelson with a flag and drag with a knock up onto TanX. Explosive cast almost saves TanX's life, but it was a tad bit too late.
Gotta love the aggression coming from SSK and Jelson. Well, we talked about this again, right? This is the downtime. This is where Alliance shines. Whenever there's no objectives, they're so confident in entering these fights, and most of the time, they are successful with a kill. And I think the biggest question would be always, how can they transition these kills into objectives across the map? Because so far, again, it is Divine that is able to get 2 out of 2 early objectives and is still able to basically have their gold lead, the 2k gold difference.
Yeah, that's the problem. Prioritization, right? Divine Esports tower first blood, Cloud Dragon, Rift Herald, 3 out of 3. Right, getting all this leads them into this position of getting that 1k gold lead, even if Alliance has one more kill lead up against them. So we'll see how this transitions later on. And this is not that much of a depreciating value for now because it is only the Cloud Drake, it is only the Rift Herald. Not as if I'm belittling these objectives, but more so, there are more objectives that is so much more valuable later on. The Infernal Drake comes up next, the Baron Dasher comes up next. If Alliance loses this is going to be so much deficit for this team to be able to come back in late game.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like, Alliance has a very, very strong mid-game here. There's a lot of wombo combos involved, top lane.
Look at the shadow, look at that mark.
Here's
SSK 1
Entrance!
HP, he dies. SSK will lose his life. Divine Esports taking the kill down onto the Baron lane. But Jelson, it is too late. CWJ, it is too late. They did not get that
Good
trade.
lane.
Divine Esports just gonna go out with a kill.
Nicely done by Divine once more. Mega Inferno Bomb is so
Oh,
painful.
look at the flash, look at the hit. Land gets a kill down. Azor Veki just blinks, and then he dies.
Yeah, it's just too painful. Or rather, that's also how squishy you are. Azor Veki throwing in the gauntlet. Okay, I know I'm the squishiest target. I will buy Hourglass Enchant. Okay, here it is.
Please go away. But look here into the top side, it's Jelson. Force the flash away, and Coyote is very low on HP. SSK bringing him down. A kill for Alliance once again. Consistent kills for Alliance, pulling through, but 4k gold difference. Too big for Divine.
Now, right now, Alliance is going to be heavily reliant on SSK setups here. The big AoE stuns, the big delivery flanks, rather, and able to deliver the hero's entrance coming from CWJ. Ideally, you do want to put that towards Raven just to make sure you have better chances of landing that Moonfall without being cancelled. But at the same time, SSK will play a huge part just because of that the CC is definitely much easier to land. We'll see, though, as Divine again. We talked about Poke before. Hope 1 is going to be massive after that Rabadon's pickup. Well, not as massive, but will deal a significant amount of damage already towards Alliance. And the most dangerous thing about Poke compositions is that when there are 2 assassins on the board, it's just so easy to prime for a one-shot, for a one combo shot against Alliance members. And you add in Tan-X on this Darius, there's the finisher. There's the Noxian Guillotine.
And now, speaking of the same assassin, that mark onto Jelson puts him at very low HP, and
There.
Land just jumps in, gets the kill onto Jelson. Another jungler once again, lost by Alliance.
And this is exactly what we're talking about every single time. Alliance, downtime-wise, they're great with their dives. They're great with their initiates, their engages. But when it comes to the Dragon, Divine Esports is just always so good at getting a pick and then getting towards the objective, especially when their composition calls for this.
Now Raven, 2v1, tries to go back away, but that actually almost gets a kill down. Will not do so. So Kue will go back away. Raven holds on bot lane.
Able to hold on to summoner spells, which is good. I mean, barrier, very important against the death mark of Coyote here. Look at Alliance, though. They're trying to pick up this tower. We'll see if that's going to be taken down. Yes, that is the answer. Teleport, though, coming in.
Yeah, TPs, it's Stream and Drone for Divine Esports. Coyote comes into the party. Shurikens will not connect. With a huge dodge coming from SSK, but Alliance is going to go back home with the thing that they want, the tier 1 turret top lane.
Yeah, that's still going to be open for the taking. They've got the Ziggs, though. They can finish it off. Hope 1 is able to get that through with the passive. I think a little bit dangerous. Alliance is they're lying and waiting with the wave clear coming from CWJ and as well as Raven. So it might be a little bit too risky. Again, Divine climbing in for an 6k gold lead.
That mark from Coyote. A lot of damage for SSK. Stuns
SSK?
down. Stacy's enchant. Buys him a little bit more time. Shield from his kill, but Guillotine brings him down. SSK will lose his life. Alliance will lose their Baron laner.
This is just them being able to strong arm against the 1-3-1. Arrow!
Arrow is huge, but no follow-up, and Alliance will lose that opportunity. Now Tonic and Len comes into the party,
the
gets a kill
damage?
down onto CWJ with a guillotine, almost gets the reset down, but Tonic will lose it because Stasis will be done for Ozarveki. Now Explosive Cast to try and disengage for Divine Esports, but they lock in, they get the kill onto Kue, and Alliance get that trade happening for them.
Nicely done punish coming from Alliance. Divine felt like they could take Alliance on there under the tower, but pretty much Quay and the rest of the squad were pretty low. Yeah, Coyote was low to begin with. There's no follow-up for this though, but it still doesn't change the fact that Coyote can't exactly go melee range. He can only poke with the shurikens, can't exactly join the fight anymore. That's why I see him backing away. It was a, what, 3v3 situation where everybody else from Divine were pretty much very tanky. And, you know, Quay pretty already used his cast, therefore no disengage available.
Yeah, and I think at the very least, they limited the amount of damages that will be done for Divine Esports. Right, Len was safe, only Kue died, so that was a support for maybe the mid laner for Alliance. So, I don't know. Let's see though, let's see, because right now, it's still Divine Esports taking the lead, but if Alliance consistently do this, wherein they get those trades, wherein they get those kills, I think this has an opportunity for them to make it back. Since Jelson will be the key here, but let's look at that. Coyote will go for the death mark onto Ozarveki, as Ozarveki will get eviscerated, and Divine Esports gets one more, takes 2 kills.
Yeah, Ozarveki used the flash, but the death mark wind up basically, air quote wind up basically already kicked in. Fight another.
Yeah,
That's another fight.
Moonfall goes for the 2-man knockup, but Len just jumps in, 1-shot kill, and 2-man apprehend coming from Tonex, pulls them through. This will be the 4 kills continuously for Divine Esports as they take 2 out of the top lane.
No jungler, no problem. Divine can immediately start this Baron up. Everybody pretty much low health. It doesn't matter as they've got the shred down on the board. No, again, Alliance is close. No one from Alliance is close to this for a potential steal. And now they have to defend from this. Okay, Raven is wave clear. CWJ is wave clear. Ozarveki to some extent, I suppose, with the volley. But I feel like Divine may have a problem, may have an issue because Hope One on the Ziggs just does a much better job wave clearing even with the 3 combined.
Certainly. Right, so I think it's a main focus here right now for Alliance because I'm expecting Divine Esports to also utilize the Baron in a split. You're seeing Coyote in the top side, you're seeing Tonic into the bot side, a 1v1 type of setup to pressure in all lanes, which divides the manpower for Alliance to be able to defend. How they're gonna do this is up to them if they could, but if they cannot, this will be over. Divine Esports though almost gets a kill onto Raven, but he dies at the end of the day, and now it's Alliance losing a member with the Baron buff towards Divine, and they need to defend, but Azara very low, CWJ very low, Divine Esports takes the tier 2 bot lane.
What a fight from Divine. We thought that Raven could have survived, but the stacks were just too much. Now look at the death timers. 20 seconds without Raven, and minions are storming the base.
And no one to defend. Alliance, you have to defend it. You have to clear down the wave. Connex is going to have that free time of their life to venture out into their base. Takes 2 inhibitor turrets for Divine Esports, and now the only one left is the top lane. With Baron buff still alive, with control waves for Divine Esports, they're now pushing top lane.
This is going to be tricky.
Lan jumps in. What? That kills down CWJ, the supposed tap for Alliance, and they lost it. Double kill for Divine Esports. They take all of their turns, and Divine is now pulling through. They take everyone away. That's the ace, and Divine Esports takes the second game of the series.
And that's going to be 2-0 in favor of Divine Esports.